Have you seen much in the news about the whole laptop from hell, the Biden laptop? I'm just going to walk everybody back a little bit and let you guys know where this whole thing started. It was 2.5 weeks or so before the actual national election for the president, right? And this story comes out. A smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessmen to VP Dad. But the thing I care about is this.
I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
All right, so he's never discussed anything to have to do with his businesses to his son or his brother or anybody, period. Okay, got it. This is an email from advisor at Burisma, right? And this is from him to Hunter Biden. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure, as we spoke yesterday evening. But if you look, what Hunter Biden's lawyer said, he's talking about Rudy Giuliani and about this laptop. He's been pushing discredited conspiracy theories about the Biden family, openly relying on actors tied to Russian intelligence, the lawyer said, right? Facebook and Twitter immediately, they restricted it everywhere. So they were like, nobody can see what's going on with this. We're going to label it misinformation. But here's the problem. This is 2 weeks. 2 weeks before the national election of Joe Biden, right? So what happens a few days after that is the emails are laid out. There's business interests that are obviously happening. They lay out all these emails. And then all the media basically goes, this is false information. People get banned on Twitter, on Facebook. I changed the time zone on my Google to go back to that time frame to see what the PolitiFact said right after this story came out. You ready for it? Fact check. Unproven claims about Hunter Biden and Chop. Fact check claims Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, all of it. That was like the 19th. That was the 19th of the month that they put that out, right? And then the New York Times puts this out. This is a misinformation test for social media, and then you have all the media playing their part.
Is no, I repeat, no.
There is no evidence that either Biden did anything illegal.
There's been no evidence. There was no evidence.
There's no evidence. There is no evidence.
There is not an iota of evidence.
No evidence Biden did anything wrong.
There's really
no evidence
that Joe Biden
did anything wrong.
Nobody's ever accused.
And then you've got the intelligence officials, 50 actually intelligence officials came out saying that this was Russian disinformation. They could tell based on their sources. Look who shows up 2 days later. The recipient of one of the business emails comes out and goes, it's not BS. I was in the emails. His name, Tony Bobulinski. And here he is.
In various successful businesses, both in this country and abroad. I'm making this statement to set the record straight about the involvement of the Biden family, Vice President Biden, his brother Jim Biden, and his son Hunter Biden in dealings with the Chinese. I've heard Joe Biden say that he's never discussed business with Hunter. That is false.
Well, I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
I have firsthand knowledge about this because I directly dealt with the Biden family, including Joe Biden. And everything I'm saying is corroborated by emails, WhatsApp chats, agreements, documents, and other evidence. And the American people can judge for themselves. I've never been political. The few contributions I've made have been to Democrats. At my approximately hour-long meeting with Joe that night, we discussed the Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level.
Well, I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
On May 13, 2017, I received an email concerning allocation of equity, which says 10% held by H for the big guy. In that email, there's no question that H stands for Hunter, big guy for his father, Joe Biden. On numerous occasions, it was made clear to me that Joe Biden's involvement was not to be mentioned in writing, but only face-to-face. In fact, I was advised by Gilliar and Walker that Hunter and Jim Biden were paranoid about keeping Joe Biden's involvement secret.
He's basically saying, not only was it not in misinformation from Russia, I have the emails too. They're on these 3 phones. I'm giving them to the FBI, who already had the laptop in December, by the way. They had the laptop in December of 2019 and haven't said a word. You have Tony Bobulinski come out and going, actually, he was supposed to make sure that we secured 10% for the big guy, and the big guy he's referring to is Joe Biden.
Right.
Whoa. So nobody knows what to do with that. You just go, oh, okay, well, shoot. I mean, you said it was Russian disinformation. And then the dude that was in the emails was like, no, it wasn't. I'm the guy. I was the CEO of the thing. And so now it finally comes out. The Hunter Biden's infamous laptop is confirmed by the New York Times just now. The New York Times proves that Hunter Biden paid off $1 million that he owed the IRS somehow. And when they state where they got the information, they say from the recovered laptop that they called fake. Isn't it nuts? Here's what the most recent update is.
So, Peter, you think Hunter's about to be charged with a crime?
I do. And Jesse, I think the best evidence is the New York Times ran this piece where they admitted the laptop was real. That was in paragraph 17 or 18. But the story was basically about the grand jury looking into Hunter Biden. And the New York Times got a lot of cooperation from Team Biden, and they were clearly trying to position themselves on the assumption that Hunter Biden is, in fact, going to be indicted. That's why I think they cooperated. And I think the challenge and the problem they have, Jesse, is that if Hunter Biden is indicted, that opens up the whole can of worms in terms of Joe Biden's financial connections that you talked about earlier.
At the end of the day, everybody, it's a good time to be a conspiracy theorist. But if you just want the told you mug where it's got that cool image on it with the told you on the back, link is in the bio, everybody. Have fun with it.